Hello again. You know me as the dead man, but once I was Ayan, just a regular guy with a job and dreams. And, like many others, I fell in love. Her name was Ananya. She was mesmerizing. An artist with a mind as beautiful as her work, always lost in deep thoughts, always driven by a vision of a better world. Ananya was more than just a woman to me. She was a force, a spark. She had this passion for change, especially when it came to the rights of women. She wrote powerful articles, attended rallies, and stood up for people who needed a voice. Being around her, it felt like I was close to something bigger than life itself. We spent hours together, talking about everything, our dreams, our fears, our hopes for the world. Ananya would talk about the society she wanted to change, the lives she wanted to impact, and I admired every part of her. She was someone who cared deeply, someone who didn't just accept things as they were but believed in the power of words and actions to create change. And in time, I fell deeply, almost helplessly, in love with her. She became the center of my life. I would have done anything for her, given anything just to see her smile, to hear her laugh. And she seemed to care for me, too. She talked about a future, about building a life together. I remember her saying, "Ayan, I want you to be a part of my life." Those words, I held on to them. I believed in them, I believed in us. But one day, without warning, she pulled away. I remember the shock, the disbelief. She looked at me, and with the same calmness she once spoke about love and life, she told me it was nothing. Nothing, she said. I thought it was a mistake. I thought maybe she was just scared. But she meant it. For her, it had all nothing. That one word, nothing, shattered everything. My world, my dreams, my reason for being. I felt like a fool, like everything I had believed in had been a lie. I lost friends, isolated myself. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. The thought of living without her was so painful that, for a moment, I considered ending it all. I didn't know how to keep going when every corner of my life reminded me of her, but in that darkness, something unexpected happened. A small voice inside me said, "Ayan, you don't need her to define you. You don't need anyone to give your life meaning." That thought hit me like a storm. Maybe, just maybe, I had been looking in the wrong places for happiness. Maybe I had given too much power to someone else to decide my worth. I realized that, at the end of it all, I was the only one responsible for my own soul, my own happiness. So I chose to live. I chose to try, day by day, to rebuild the pieces of who I was. But even after months, it was hard to move on. The pain didn't just disappear. I tried to talk to her once, hoping for some closure, hoping she'd at least say goodbye. But she refused, leaving me in silence. That was her final word, nothing. And here I am, sharing this with you. My story didn't end with a happily ever after. It ended with silence, with me learning that sometimes the people we love most are only meant to be a part of our journey, not our destination. I still carry the memories, the lessons, the scars. This story of Ayan and Ananya is not over. Maybe one day, I'll have more to tell you about her, about what I became because of her, despite her. So, if you're listening, remember, love deeply, but never let anyone be the reason you lose yourself. Because, at the end of it all, it's just you. Just your own heart, your own journey. And maybe that's enough. If you're ready to hear more, to see where this journey leads, subscribe this channel. Because the story of Ayan and Ananya, it's just beginning.